For two genres that feel familiar on the surface, fighters and rhythm games are more like polar opposites. Sure, they both require precise inputs to a particular flow, but rhythm relies on mechanical perfection, while fighting games need a deeper understanding of an often unpredictable opponent. In an ideal world, I think the two could harmonize quite well, but in God of Rock's case, the genres it's trying to blend are often at odds with each other. Firstly, I wasn't wowed by any of the songs in the game, and I even think it could have used a sprinkle of licensed songs, but that could be neither here nor there to some players. In terms of the gameplay, instead of lengthy move lists and dedicated punch and kick buttons, God of Rock's battle takes place with note charts scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Hitting a note at the same precision as my opponent causes both of us to block attacks, but getting more accurate timing lets me break through their defenses to wallop them. Matches don't end until one player falls, which means two people with perfect timing could be locked in an infinite battle, with the note chart becoming increasingly difficult. However, you've also got supers and ultra moves that can be thrown in with more traditional fighter inputs, like half and quarter circles, which can do things like rapidly changing the note speed or letting me heal. I found it tough to find an opening to do my super inputs. I usually found myself purposefully dropping the combo to try and get an attack out. Some UI choices make reading the notes in God of Rock an arduous task. There's a reason games with horizontal notes are often relegated to one or two input lanes. The health bar is also too far away from the notes, making it hard to flip my eyes back and forth between them during gameplay. God of Rock's modes are limited. There's an arcade mode with some lovely illustrated cutscenes for each character that has you fighting through the roster. Free play mode lets you fight through specific songs against either a CPU or another player online. Finally, the multiplayer mode has ranked and casual lobbies to face off against other players online. The thing I was most impressed with was how streamlined God of Rock's multiplayer was. I jumped in for some games with a fellow rhythm and fighter enthusiast. Setting up a lobby took no time at all, and within less than a minute, we were in a match together. Once our game was over, hopping into a rematch was instant. Despite its struggles, I really did love God of Rock's charm. Its roster is a colourful mix of characters like comic artist Edith or carefree spirit Lynn. I enjoyed some of their unique interactions during arcade intros, and the game's stage designs were pretty, if not a tad out of place with the game's tone. Unfortunately, I don't think God of Rock is going to hold the attention of die-hard fans of either of the two genres anytime soon. I found myself struggling to want to play for more than an hour or two. Getting these two polar opposite genres to work well together was a tough task, and God of Rock doesn't quite get the two to mesh, but it's very pretty to look at, and very clear Modus Games put a lot of love into it, and I look forward to seeing what the developer does in future updates. Video producer Josh here. I do think the reviewer is a bit harsh here. From what I've played of the game, it does seem fun enough. All the criticism here is valid, but I don't think they warrant as low a score as she gave it. I'd probably give it more like a 70 out of 100, maybe a 65.